This is a lesson on documenting sources. First of all, you need to know, what exactly do I need to document? Well, the most obvious answer to that is anything that you take word for word from some other source, you need to document where those words came from. I have an example of a word-for-word quotation on the board. Anything that is taken exact word for word from another source, that's someone else besides you, you need to denote that this is someone else's work by using quotation marks at the beginning and at the end of passages that you take word for word. Now also, you need to document things that you put into your own words. If they were originally someone else's ideas. So if we were to take this word-for-word quotation here and reword it into our own words, we would still need to cite the original source, because this is someone else's idea. We need to give them credit for their idea. Now, if we were to summarize this or to paraphrase, which means to put someone else's words into our own words, we would get rid of the quotation marks, but we would still cite the source in the same way. Now, there are two ways that you need to cite your sources. There is the in-text citation, and there is the works cited citation. Right now we're going to focus on the in-text citation. And the format that we're going to be using is the MLA format. If you've taken a peek through your writing handbook, no matter which edition you have, I'm currently holding up the 6th edition, but the 5th edition and future editions should be organized pretty much the same way. There are two sections on how to cite sources in the Rules for Writers Handbook. There's the MLA and the APA. The MLA stands for Modern Language Association. The APA stands for American Psychological Association. Now, in your college career, you may be using either of these two formats. So you need to ask your professor, whenever an assignment is assigned, which type of formatting do I need to use? For this class, we're going to strictly use the MLA formatting. We're not going to discuss any of the features of the APA. We're going to focus purely on the MLA. And if you thumb through your textbooks, you will notice that there is a section that says MLA, and you can note it because there is a little colored box at the top of the page that says MLA. The APA sections, there is also a little colored box at the top of the page that says APA. So that can help you keep straight the two different types of formats. So keep an eye out for the MLA or the APA. And for the purpose of this class anyway, we're going to focus on the MLA. So the two types of citations that we're going to focus on are required. Both of them are required. It's not a one or the other type deal. But the in-text is the first one that we're going to discuss. And the in-text is pretty simple. You don't have to give a lot of information. Generally, the only type of information you need for the in-text citation is the author's last name and the page number from which the words or the ideas came from. I have an example up here, a standard example. I have at the end of the quotation, I have in parentheses the author's last name and the page number. This is called parenthetical reference. Parenthetical just means within parentheses. And this is required that you have these two pieces of information. Now, this is not the exact one way that you have to do this, but this is one way that you can do this. Another way that you can do your citation is to put the author's name within the text of your paper. So if you introduce the author, which is called attribution or attributing, you're attributing your source to the author. If you do that author attribution at the before you give the quotation, you can build that right in with the rest of your text. And here's a simple way that you can do this: is you can add to the beginning of this sentence, according to stamp, comma, and then begin with your quotation. Now, if you do decide to put the author attribution within the actual text of your paper, you don't have to put the author's name at the end of the paper as well. I mean, sorry, at the end of the quotation as well. So instead of double attributing